Hello again, listeners. Thank you so much for joining me at Sound Pollution this week. It is episode 57 featuring Round Rock Rick. We are going to be discussing his inspirations, background, working with Uncle Brent, and Ricktoberfest. We will also be talking about how two of his cool tracks, Hey and Worried Feet, came to be. And as usual, we're going to be topping it off with a few cool stories and a little bit of advice pointed in the right direction, and we're off to the show. All right, listeners, I am here with Round Rock Rick. Why don't you tell my listeners a little bit about yourself?
Hey, awesome. Thanks for having me here. A little bit about myself. Gosh, I guess the biggest thing music related wise that really kind of has, I'm trying to restart my career is retiring from the state of Texas after 29 years of service.
Wow.
Way back in the day, I'd been in multiple different bands, playing bass in a rock and roll band and then a country band and different stuff. And then really had to really concentrate, on the job and not be out there in the rock and roll world so much. But yeah, retirement, fantastic. And then you were just talking about Uncle Brent and, what a great musician he is and everything.
Shout
Shout out Uncle Brent. For sure. And also been an inspiration to me, really. I retired and I thought about, I have, songs I've been writing really my whole life, as an adult and ones I've played out different places and new ones coming up. And I've done the singer-songwriter thing at open mics and all that kind of stuff. But he really inspired me to kind of put it all together and was gracious enough to invite me up on several of his shows out in Hutto and different places and the Carousel Lounge down in Austin and let me.
That Carousel Lounge is the one with the pink elephant, right?
It is, yeah.
Oh.
You don't even have to drink and you can see a pink elephant as soon as you walk in there. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's all circus themed. They have like murals on the wall. I mean, it's a dive bar. It's a concrete bunker dive bar, but they got a little funkiness there.
So you were focused on work and you weren't playing. So did you give it up just because of work, or did you give it up because you were kind of disenchanted with the music scene in general?
I mean, I think it's probably a little bit of both in a sense. I mean, I wouldn't say just enchanted. I think my over time, my expectations have really kind of leveled out a little bit. Some of the stuff when I had, my kids are in their 20s now, but when they were little and stuff and trying to go out and play a show and you're done
Yeah.
at midnight, 1 a.m., then you got to pack up all your stuff and bring it home and put it back in the garage and all that and then get up, again in the morning and you made $2 last night. So.
Right. And that 5:30 alarm clock happens real fast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel that. What got you interested in music, before all that?
And being here with my dad, it kind of reminds me of those very early days. Like, this is when I was a child, and he had bought the Beatles records when they first came out. So he's got those in the house. And then,
Nice.
Incredibly, I had a little Fisher Price record player, just a toy basically. But he would allow me to take the Beatle records up to my room and play them, and I would pretend to be a DJ and just, it's 39 degrees in Jackson, Michigan at 2:25 p.m. and just,
That's great.
and here's the Beatles with I Want to Hold Your Hand. So just right there just sparked me, and from then on, I never really had a lot of confidence and ability to play an instrument at all. And my friends, did play guitars and stuff. So I started playing bass just to I wanted to be involved in it. I don't have the ear for music as far as like hearing a chord or hearing a progression and be able to pick it out immediately. I've got to kind of study it and have somebody tell me, okay, that's G, that's C, and then I can hear it and get it. But, that was the early days of really getting inspired and getting into it.
Were there, other than the Beatles, because who doesn't love the Beatles? Now I said that,
Right.
and now I'm going to get all this mail that's like, I don't. But
yeah, well, Mick Jagger and Paul are having a little spat right now, I heard. So maybe
are they really?
Yeah, Paul's evidently said. My dad told me this, dude. Paul said the Rolling Stones are just a blues cover band.
Oh, that's gonna cause so much trouble.
But guess what Mick says? Mick says, well, the Beatles don't exist anymore, and there's some band that's been on the road for 50 years. Yeah.
Shit. I'm gonna have to Google that. I'll be sitting there a night on like social media, just drinking hot chocolate and watching people fight.
Yeah. There's a spat I can get behind or a conspiracy right there. That's
that one. glass of wine and watch that unfold. But other than the Beatles, what are some of your musical influences?
So I'm gonna say that probably the biggest one, just as far as like when you heard the song "Hey," we got that breakdown part, and it's got a weird, with the kind of random "Hey, hey, hey" going on all over the place, and that kind of stuff. Frank Zappa, really inspired me
Oh.
to do as far as not being limited to the usual structures of songs, and kind of being free to put something crazy in there.
So, well, speaking of the song, I'm just going to jump into the song. Tell me about the song "Hey," other than what you just said.
Yeah, hey, and again, back to Uncle Brent, he helped me really flesh out that breakdown part. But basically, it's about, I mean, it just kind of, it's catchy to me, and it has good rhymes and stuff, and it's fun, and so there's nothing kind of down or dark about it. It's what I'd like to say, it's an invitation to joy. So come over by me now, come over here next to me, and let's just have a good time and drink lemonade and sit in the sunshine.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got. It's really nice.
Hey, won't you get your work done? Get that work done and you're lying on the sun. Hey, won't you come and see me? Come and see me and we'll tease eternity. Hey, won't you come over by me now? Won't you tell me? Oh, please, 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 yeah. Hey, won't you fly into my flame? Fly into my flame, I'm burning all the same. Hey, won't you come into my love? Come into my love, all feeling full of love. Hey, won't you come over by me now? Won't you tell me? Oh, please, 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 girl. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 won't you meet me on the plane? Meet me on the plane and we'll fly it to LA. Hey, won't you let me see your way? Let me see your way, all soaked in Monterey. Hey, won't you come over by me now? Won't you tell me? Oh, please, 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 yeah. Hey, won't you make me lemonade? Make me lemonade, oh, sit me in the shade. Hey, won't you say now, won't you say hey? Hey, won't you say now, won't you say hey? Hey, won't you come over by me now? Won't you tell me? Oh, please, 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 yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Brent again.
For sure, yeah.
Look at him. He's on the show and I haven't even been on the show.
Right. Yeah, the biggest difference between I've been trying to record stuff for a long time, on a little Fostex, little 4-track cassette, and then digital stuff, and just I could do to a certain point, but I knew that it should be better. And so now this time around, Brent, again, but talked about Fiverr, that service where you can go and find people out there and work with, and it's been amazing. A guy in Spain, Hugo. So I can do it the best I can. I send it over to Hugo, and it comes back the way that you hear it. And then send it to another guy, Flow Audio, and Joey, send it to him over in Great Britain. Comes back all mixed and mastered. So, I mean, I wish I could go to Spain and England and be there with the song, but my songs have traveled to Europe and back, but I didn't get to go.
But that's cool though. It is
Oh yeah,
interesting, especially over the last couple years, how we've learned to work together and get a good product musically without actually having to be together because there were all these restrictions, and it's been kind of nice. I know a lot of people that I've talked to have been doing that.
yeah, it's amazing.
Stacking Pennies is another one who he was writing with somebody who was still in Pittsburgh and he was over here, and it's
Yep.
been really nice in a way. You play bass. Do you
Uh-huh.
play any other instruments?
No, just bass and guitar, and
Well, that's okay.
yeah, and I think I always feel more energy and better with all the original stuff. I can play some covers and stuff too, but to me, the more you hear it, the more you hear, in a cover what's there, and I try to do it better and better, and then you can. To me, you can't really. It's rare that you can make a cover as good or better than the original, and so you're just kind of striving for that standard. When I'd rather kind of spend more of my time trying to get out what I have, inside of me and getting my songs, old and new, out there for people to hear.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, we've talked about, Fiverr and Uncle Brent, but
Hmm.
what is your writing process like when you sit down to write a song?
It can kind of vary. Sometimes it'll be mostly I will get like chord progression ideas and like little riff ideas when I'm first warming up. I'm getting ready to practice and kind of warming up a little bit, and then not thinking about it, where you're doing a little exercise maybe, and next thing you know, you're doing something different. You're like, oh, what is that? And then kind of
Hmm.
try to build that up, and then try to see if I can find a lyric that goes along with it. At other times, back to early high school days, I would just write, just lyric and kind of cliched songs and different things. But sometimes it'll be more from a, not poetry, but more from a just you hear the cadence of a vocal in your head, or just like
Hmm.
a melody, and then all it takes is that one part of it, like, and hey, won't you get your work done? Once you have that, da, 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 then you just go and find other words that kind of fit with it, with that same cadence, and off you go, and then trying to figure out how to put the chords to it.
So is it like that every time, or is it? That was a stupid question because you answered that before you started
All
it. See what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, that's so good.
I'm all thrown off. What do you like about writing music?
I think I think at its heart, it's that thing of sharing something that is so deep inside of yourself, core of your being, when you can feel like you've brought that out, and whether people hear it and whether they're touched by it or not, but regardless, when that comes out, it's like sharing a gift with the world in a way, and it just makes me feel really good.
So do you like writing or playing more?
I like playing more when I'm done with the show. Going into the show, I'm always really nervous until it actually starts. And then at
Right.
the end, it's such a good rush. It's like, that was great. So I guess it's a different feel. Writing can be, it's a little bit more, I don't know, just, more solitary, obviously. And in the end, satisfying, but still that rush. And that I've always been a bit of a ham all the way back to like first grade, trying to win a singing contest with raindrops falling on my head, uh,
Hmm.
and hearing applause and having people react to what you're doing. You can't beat that rush.
So as far as music, would you say there was an aha moment for you where you were like, I have to be a musician? I mean, I know you gave it up for a while, but before you ever gave it up, was there just that moment you were like, this is it for me?
That's a good question. Probably the most successful, but maybe during the time of the most successful like rock band that we had, was called Glass Alley, and fortunately, it's before YouTube and all that. It's kind of lost to the ages right there. But um, we would play, pretty big shows, and we actually organized a show of our own out at the city park, and had people come out, had a great reaction, and it was kind of where I could see not only friends coming to the show and family and enjoying it, but random people are just actually having organic fans, I guess you might say, which
Hmm.
is pretty cool. At that time, my wife, who unfortunately died about 5 years ago of a
I'm
heart
so
attack,
sorry.
wonderful person. Yeah, she's fabulous, Maggie Kalawati. But we had a conversation at that time, and I was working. Didn't have the position that I had later, but I was working at the abuse hotline for the state of Texas, and told her I wanted to pursue this, and she said, "You have 1 year to be a rock star. You can go and work it, and you got 1 year to be a rock star. You got to go back to work." she's tough in some of those situations, and very smart lady. And so, we did get a few more shows and kind of going up, and then we had a big weird falling out with the singer who kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and the band broke up, and that's the end of that story.
How does a singer just disappear?
Oh, good Lord. So
you don't have to tell me if you don't want, but the way you phrased it, I was like, did he just walk off stage and never came back?
No, another guy did that.
Oh my God.
That was in One Day Bone. But yeah, this one, it was weird too, because it involves Uriah Heep, if you remember that band. So we were playing. Allegedly, he was a, obviously a singer, very, outgoing and just a singer, everything you can imagine with a singer, voice like an angel as well. So allegedly he had met somebody, the manager of Uriah Heep, and we were going to go on tour with them to Australia, and they were coming over to practice the next week, and they were going to bring the people over and whatever. We came to practice that day, and he never showed up, and they never showed up, and we didn't see him for a long time.
What the fuck?
Right. So I didn't know anything about, what happened or whatever so after Maggie died, my friend Joe Pratt, who I've been in with so many bands, Joe and I decided we're going to, try to find D'Arc and figure out what actually, happened. So now with Facebook and everything, I found he was working in a restaurant in South Austin, and we went down there, and then he came over and talked to us later and said, now, who knows, whether this is true or not, or what really happened. But he said that, so he went to meet with the Uriah Heep representatives, and they wanted him only, and they wanted him to ditch the band, right, and go with them, and they were going to get him some new players and blah, blah, blah. And supposedly he didn't want to do that. And so but then there's a hole in the story, because he didn't want to do that. Why didn't he come back and tell us? So,
right.
Yeah. There's a giant hole in that story, but that's about the end of what I know about that.
Holy shit! Can I leave that in? That was a cool story.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm friends with him now on Facebook. I don't hold a grudge against him. I'm friends with him now on Facebook and stuff. And who knows what really happened? We had some great times together, and we played some kick-ass music. That's for sure.
Awesome. Hey everyone, there's a new season of Sound Pollution coming your way. I know it's been a really rough 18 months and we are not out of the dark yet, but I'm going to keep bringing you new independent artists, their music, and their stories, as well as some updates from fabulous musicians that have been here before. I will be introducing you to the occasional guest co-host this fall as well. Will I find a permanent partner for the show? If you're interested in being a guest musician on Sound Pollution or want to co-host an episode, shoot me a message at soundpollutionpodcast.com or soundpollutionpodcast@gmail.com. Be love and make some noise. Speaking of playing kick-ass music, why don't you tell the listeners about Ricktoberfest?
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited about Ricktoberfest. So about 2 years ago, I moved into a house in Round Rock, and next to me on one side is a park. It's about maybe an acre, and it's maybe not the park you're thinking of. My daughter calls it a drainage ditch. Okay, there is part of it that's a drainage ditch. There's a few trees. It's a nice open field, and then behind me there's railroad tracks and then undeveloped land behind me. So I'm on a cul-de-sac.
Right.
So I got thinking, why I play my guitar on the back patio and stuff, and it's like, man, it'd be great if people would just come out here and watch. And so I got talking with my friend Jeremy, who knows how to do some woodworking and stuff. And we're like, yeah, we could build a stage right here and blah, blah, blah. And so and the more I got thinking about it, it's like, why not? And so first thing I did is contact the city of Round Rock and asked them, telling them I'm going to have music in my backyard, and I want to invite the public to come watch from the park. And so I'm going to have it there regardless of what you say, but I'd like to have the invite the public as well.
Right.
Have a bounce house for the kids and sidewalk chalk, and we're going to try to raise money for Meals on Wheels of Central Texas, who's very special, has a special place in my heart as well. And they said, okay, have a great event, no permit required. And so then it was just onward with the planning and renting the porta potties and planning for the kegs and finding the bands, which I found some through Carousel. I just looked up who else has been playing at Carousel and started messaging them, on Facebook, and then put an ad up on Craigslist for about 2 to 3 days and sorted through them, and then took the ad down real quick. And found a total of 7, different acts that are going to come out there and play.
Awesome.
On October 30th. Yeah, it's going to be
This month.
If it doesn't turn out great, whatever, we're still going to have a party and have fun, and we'll try it again next year.
That is awesome. And every year you do it, there's going to be more and more people, and you're going to raise more and more money.
Yeah.
And have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't invited to perform at ACL, so I thought I better just make up my own festival.
There you go. I love it. So let's talk about the next song.
Okay. Worried Feet.
Worried Feet. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we were talking about how, process for writing songs, and it kind of went through a couple different scenarios. This one came up actually totally different. It came up with the title first, Worried Feet, and the idea of what it was, and then I had to build everything around that, basically. So Worried Feet is that situation that most or many of us have been in when you're at home alone and you're waiting for a loved one to come home and they're not on time. And you're waiting and wondering what's going on and pacing around and just upset. And so I had the Worried Feet and no lyrics, no anything else to it. And so just over time kind of built up. I think first I got kind of the chord progression, and then the break part where it's kind of like a clock ticking and you hear somebody pacing across the floor. And then just kind of worked on the lyrics and polished them up and tried to get the feeling across. It was all the lyrics were to be going back to the title, how to make sure you kind of keep that whole feeling of, as much as Hey, is a fun, happy song, Worried Feet is full of anxiety.
Yeah, it's definitely the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt the anxiety. I have anxiety, so I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, it came from real things too. I mean, when I'm upset, I pace around the floor. It's what I do.
just there's just a path in your living room.
Hopefully not that bad, but yeah.
That's what my grandma used to say. She'd say, you are gonna wear home the carpet.
Right. Uh-huh.
By now it's a given. My hair has turned gray. The red weeds are scrubbing in my beard. But has something more gotten to you? I'm doing more than my part to keep it weird. And I don't know, but I wonder till I ache with heat. I wonder all the way down to my worried feet. I'm pacing the floor, and I'm so scared. catch me safe. So don't wanna see you leaving my street. And so I stand here, stoned alone, silent in my worried feet. And I don't know, I'll always wonder until I ache with heat. I wander all the way down to my worried feet. I'm pacing the floor, and I'm so scared. I'm pacing the floor, unprepared. I'm pacing the floor, down to my worry, 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 down to my worry.
Well, if you weren't doing music right now, what would you be doing?
Probably just more of the other stuff that I've been doing since retiring. And, people warn me, oh, when you retire, you're going to be bored. You won't know what to do and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't think so. And now it's been 2 years and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. So, I play golf. I like playing golf and, I don't care if I play well anymore or not. So that makes golf, fun. If you care too much, it makes it very difficult sport. You gotta kind of take it as it goes. I like to go, hiking and camping and paddling the kayak around, riding my bike, just kind of general outdoorsy stuff and watching football and just hanging out, listening to music.
Did it feel like, that's not the right word. See, this is why I don't do live interviews.
No worries.
This is I did one on a for somebody else's like video music thing, and I was like, oh, you're gonna regret this. Oh man, I'm sorry.
No worries. I'm having a really good time. I really appreciate it. I'm having fun. Like going on stage, I was anxious coming in here,
Yep.
and then once we get started, I'm just having fun.
Did coming back to music feel like returning to an old friend? I know that sounds really cliche, but did you just kind of fit back into it, or was it sort of a struggle?
I think I enjoyed it more than I enjoy it now more than ever. I appreciate it now more than ever. I appreciate anyone that would listen to me for 15 seconds, let alone, come drive down, from their house to where I'm playing it and come watch me. So I think in kind of, being on there under the lights and everything, that did feel like once it gets started, it felt very comfortable. Again, especially with Uncle Brent, kind of getting up with him so it's his show. And so I have kind of low, nobody has any expectations for what I'm going to do. And so that was a really cool way to kind of ease back into it.
So it was kind of like meeting an old friend again.
I think so.
Here we go.
That's right. Yeah, they haven't seen in a long time, and you both changed a little bit, but you appreciate each other a lot more.
This is a question I ask everybody, especially, and this is a good question for you because you didn't do music for a while and then you kind of came back to it. What advice would you give somebody, or a younger person or just somebody who's getting into it again? What advice would you give them?
I think this may sound a little cliche too, but I think it comes back to that Zappa thing that I was talking about just be yourself and don't let anybody else put you in a box. If you want to write songs and you want to play and you like doing that, then do it and don't stop and don't let anybody harsh your buzz.
Don't harsh my mellow.
That's right.
God, where did I hear that? Probably my mother.
Yeah, I'm probably showing my age then by saying that.
It's okay. My daughter said to me the other day, they were doing a throwback day at school.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at her like, here we go. And she was like, where can I get some 50s clothes? I was like, how fucking old do you think I am, dude?
Oh, God.
She was
Okay,
like, well, you're not, but you would know where to get them. I was
yeah.
like,
I know you got that poodle dog skirt in your closet, Mom. Come on.
I was really upset. Well, it's okay. You know, every day I turn on the classic rock station, one of my grunge bands is being put on it, and I just need to make peace with it.
Right. Yeah, it's like the bumper sticker T-shirt that people have, whatever. It's like, I may be old, but I saw all the cool bands.
That's true, because you had a chance to see people I'll never even get to see.
Oh my God, I saw so many awesome bands, man.
Who is your favorite person to see live?
And
Who's your favorite concert?
I just saw him last Saturday night in Cedar Park, Texas, and that is the Blue Oyster Cult.
Really?
That was
a little jealous.
14th time seeing him.
14th time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your second favorite?
Oh gosh, second favorite concert that I ever went to.
Ever.
It's got to be the very first one that my dad took me to in 1976 in Detroit Cobo Hall, which would be Kiss.
Oh my God.
With all the flames, the spitting
Like
of the blood, the smoking guitars, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my favorite so far is Tool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a trip.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten into them until more recently, and of course the Sober song. I try to play that acoustically, which is people don't recognize it right off the bat. They're like, "Wait,
that's the concert I went to.
What are you doing?" Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Did you have any other upcoming shows besides Ricktoberfest?
Yeah, I have back at Carousel again on December the 10th, I believe. It's a Friday, 5:00 happy hour show there.
Sweet.
So that's kind of a cool place because it's kind of centralized in Austin, and a lot of people I used to work with. It's not too far for them to come over if they want to come over after work. So yeah, Carousel again.
So do you have any social media or website stuff that you want to shout out?
I need to do a lot better with that. I think I have, just you can find me on the YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but in Facebook, I don't really have a whole web page or anything yet, but certainly anyone can reach out to me on Facebook, and I'm right there to chat with you or whatever. And
is there anything else you want my listeners to know about you? Besides going to Ricktoberfest and downloading your music on Spotify.
Thank you. I think the one last thing that I didn't say, talking back to the song "Hey," is a plan I have for the spring that I'm real excited about. Okay. I think I did okay on the vocals. I think I did better on "Worried Feet," but really my total vision for "Hey" is to find a female singer that can sing that song in Spanish, and I think it's just going to crush at that point. Can you imagine? You've heard it. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be really, really pretty.
Really cool, right? Wouldn't it be cool?
That'd be so pretty.
Yeah, so that's springtime. I want to bring that out before summer.
Hopefully somebody will hear this and holler at you. All right, well, Rick, I don't want to keep you from your dad at his birthday week.
Awesome.
Happy birthday, Dad.
All right.
I'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Raina. It was a pure joy. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure you click those links below and show this artist some love. Also, I am aware that I was supposed to have an announcement last week, but shit happens. I will be hitting you up this Wednesday live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube with some upcoming announcements and to let you know who's playing and where this weekend. Still seriously considering a co-host, and by seriously I mean just really looking for the right person at this point. If you are interested in that, please make sure you hit me up at the email soundpollutionpodcast@gmail.com. That's the same email you can use if you are interested in being on the show. I want to thank you again for listening. Get vaccinated, be love, and make some noise.